something too much for you. Oh Lord, God's not surprised, cause he knows what he's invested in you. Ooh, but there's no limit, you got power. Let it work in you. Let it work in you. Don't you forget the power. Let it work in you.
My God can do exceeding abundantly above all you could ask or think. It's according to the power that worketh in you. Oh, don't you forget the power. Let it work in you. Yeah. God has immeasurable power. Need you to work on me. Work on my mind. Work on my soul. Lord, let your will be done in me. Holy Spirit. In me. Oh.
Come on, work on me, Jesus. 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 My soul's under construction. Transfer my emotions. Regulate my mind. Keep my imaginations in line. Work on my will, oh God. My intellect, God. I need you to.
He can do the impossible. Yeah.
Oh, Lord, work in you. He wants to work in you. He wants to work on your heart. Let it. Ooh, yeah. He wants to work in you. Let the power. Anybody know about the power? Somebody ought to let the power. Anybody gonna let the power?
Yeah. Let it work in you. Oh, let it work in you. Whatever you need, whatever you gotta go through, you gotta let it work.
Work in you. He wants to work in you. Work in you. In you. Let him work in you. Let Jesus. He wants to work in you. Yeah. You ought to let him work on us, Jesus. We need your power. Oh, yes, we do. To help us love our neighbors. Help us love our families. Help us love our friends.
Yes, sir.
All of our brothers and our sisters. Hey, yeah.
Anybody needs the Lord? Anybody wants the Lord? Anybody got a hand up to work in your heart, work in your soul? Yeah. I need God to work in you. Anybody need God to work in your money, work in your home, touch your children now, let it work. Every part of you, I need God to regulate everything that's wrong, whatever it is. God, I need you. Ooh, yeah.
I believe tonight somebody just wants him to open up the windows of heaven for you. Let it rain. Send down your blessings, Lord. I just need you to move in this place tonight. I just need you to move in this place tonight. He's doing it right now. Hallelujah. Open the floodgates of heaven. Let it rain. Let it rain. Open the floodgates of heaven. Let it rain.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey everybody, good evening. Hi everybody, how's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's well and had an absolutely amazing, crazy, wonderful Sunday. It's been very quiet around here in Wild Praise Land. Is that a real thing? So I spent today actually cleaning. I'm getting prepared for something in February, so I had to kind of go through all of my belongings, actually all of my jewelry stash, and see if I had everything I needed. Like, is that exciting? It is when you are a jewelry lover and you realize you have everything you need. Sometimes we forget because we bought so much that we actually have everything we need. There's a little message in that. So sometimes you end up overbuying things, right, that you don't really need, and you end up realizing you had it all along right there. So yeah, so that's what we spent the day doing. No worship. Actually, I haven't been inside of a physical building since March of 2020, which is a lot for me. If you saw my confession today, it was that I have not been in the building and I'm missing it really, really bad, actually, like no other. I actually love church, but more than church itself, like the actual thing of church. I love people. I love the word, all those components, but I just love the whole experience in itself. So I really, really miss it. And I like serving. So I miss it. So, but we want to stay safe. That's really, really important. So good evening. I hope everybody's well and having an absolutely amazing day. Okay, this is what I would love for you to do. We're going to have a really important conversation, phone conversation, but it's going to be super important with an individual who I've known for quite some time. And I'm really, to be honest, I'm quite honored to have this conversation with this particular gentleman because of who he is and actually who he's been in my life. So yeah, I want to, before we do all of that, I want to get you, if you can please like, all you got to do is like the post and then share it, like and share. So like and then share, tell somebody about it so we can get to talking. You may have seen some music playing before. The first song you saw was Cedric Shannon Reeves, Let It Work. Then you saw a short clip of myself singing in St. Louis. Then you saw Pastor Michael Lampkin singing Jonathan Nelson's Manifest. And then, of course, Let It Rain by Bishop Paul Morton. Number one, I want to play some music because we're missing out on church and I don't always get the opportunity to. So I'm going to do a little bit better about giving you a little prelude of some little moments, music moments. They may not always be church. I like a little bit of everything. Okay, so while I'm getting you to like and share, don't go anywhere. Tell your neighbor, tell somebody, that we're live, and we're going to be talking to a very special guest. I just want to be sure that everybody can see us. You can hear me. Always be church. Okay, you may hear me for a second. Sorry. So I want to be sure that you are. Tell somebody. Sorry. We're live, and we're going to be talking to. So tell somebody we're live. All you got to do is like and share you can do that for me, I would greatly appreciate it. I'm going to actually share the post again so we can see it live, okay? You just hit me right there. I just want you to like and share, all right? And then I want you to tag somebody. I'm bringing up my guest, and I want you to tag somebody else, tell somebody about it. I'm going to share it again myself so that everybody knows that we are live. And let's have this conversation. It's going to be good, and we're going to get it moving, okay? All right. Let's see. So let's have this conversation, okay? Right. So I have my guest, a really good friend of mine, none other than James. Some people know him as JB, James Brown, okay? And then bring him up. All right. Hi, JB.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good.
Good. All right.
I'm good. So I'm very, very excited.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Means a lot that you want to have this conversation with me.
Of course.
You're very quiet, more than people would think. Kind of reserved when you're not doing what you do.
Right.
So tell us who you are.
James Brown. Everybody, if you know me as JB. And I've been in music for 33 years, doing it professionally, if you will. Started when I was 17. By accident, I had to play for Vanessa Bell, and it just went from there. And so I've had an opportunity to travel the world and record with everybody. Andre Crouch, Edwin Hawkins. Of course, most everybody knows me from all of my records with Daryl Coley and traveling with him for years. West Angeles. I produced the Whitfield Company's album some years ago called Still, one of my favorites. Of course, Let It Rain with Bishop Morton and some others. But, that's what I've done. I've been minister of music at, different churches, Bishop Morton's church, Bishop Eddie Long. I've done that whole thing. So, instead of keep going down the list, I've done that whole thing. And for me, it happened so early. All of my fantasy, dreams came so early in gospel music that, it became anticlimactic after a while. But I've done everything I wanted to do in gospel, period.
Wow, that's a lot. And you've done some other things that people I don't know if you want to talk. You've done some other things that people don't know about, right? So you've done commercials.
Right.
I remember one time you shared with me how back in the day they used to pull musicians from churches to play on sets, TV shows, right?
Yeah.
So you've done Full House. What other TV shows have you done?
This show used to be back in those days, actually, with Gabriel. It's called Gabriel's Fire with James Earl Jones. I did a few episodes there. Music. I did some music on the soundtrack to Crooklyn. My music is being played over in Germany in the malls. So, just doing movies and television, that opened up a lot. I used to do like gas commercials and so forth and so on. I did all of the Reebok commercials for the Olympics and blah, 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 blah.
Every time I talk to you, every time I ask, I find out something new. You did the commercials for the Olympics.
Yeah, all the Reebok commercials.
This is amazing. I think I'm going to tell you that you did some car commercials.
Yeah, just, that's,
Wow.
I worked in the industry, on both sides. I've been blessed. What can I say? And like I said, it all came very early. Like I said, my first entrance into this was with Vanessa Bell. And this is like at the height of Vanessa Bell, everything. And then it went from there to Daryl Coley, and it took off from there. And if you know me, you know that my favorite is Thomas Whitfield. So after I produced their album, I was like done. I was like, hey, I'm good. This is my all-time favorite. There was nobody else out there that I would have rather, having that on my resume was enough. If I didn't have nothing else, that was my all-time favorite. So, I've been blessed to do everything I've ever wanted to do. And like I said, even You know, a lot of people know me as a musician, but I don't see myself as that, you know, although I've done it. But I stopped playing, you know, a long time ago. In fact, when I was ministering music at several churches, I never played. I hired other people to play. In fact, the album Let It Rain, I didn't play. Mike Burrell played. I mean, so I mean, I had opportunities to play, but that was never I never wanted to be known as such a great musician. That was never my thing.
Wow. 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 You have quite a resume that you should be quite proud of. That's quite a legacy that most people don't say they have the opportunity to know. I mean, I know we're going to talk about other things, and you've really transitioned into a whole nother segment in your life.
Right.
But most people, I mean, that's huge, because I think you came along. I had like all these questions. I feel like I should just flow. I feel like you came along at a time where gospel music, in my opinion, was, to me, at the greatest. Like at
I
its
think so.
peak.
I feel the same way. It was a whole, you know, whole nother thing. And it was a great time. I will say that. I mean, it was a lot different than it is now, of course. But I had a great time back in those days doing gospel music. It was really, really great because of how the industry was set up. So yeah, I had a great time. I can't lie. I'm traveling around the world with all these people. It's just been awesome, you know, as you've done. But you know, just having these people, you know, having the opportunity, I should say, to work with all of these people, and they respect my music. You know, that was great. I'm good with that.
So I know you don't really like talking about your resume, but there is one person, one of my favorites, that you were like side by side, Daryl, the late Daryl Coley. How was that particular experience for you?
Okay, so Daryl, I started playing when I was 15, right? So around 19, Daryl, a friend of mine, called me. He didn't have a musician at the time, but Daryl was coming to preach at his church. So he was like, yo, Daryl's coming. Can you come, you know, sit in so I can at least have a musician for Daryl? I'm like, cool. Went, did the service. Afterwards, I walk up to Daryl. I'm just joking with, hey, man, why don't you let me play for you? And like, he was like, okay. And that was that. And we went from there. And like, my first trip with Daryl was to the Thomas Whitfield Company's anniversary. So, you know, I had to be like, my brain was about to explode. And we were on the road every weekend for years. I mean, every weekend. I was on the road with him like a year or two before I even did my first record with him. And so he helped me grow. He hired me when I wasn't really, I don't think I was prepared. I don't think I was good enough. But you know, he was, you know, he really, you know, gave me an opportunity, and I took that opportunity and made the most of it. I began to, you know, I became his MD, and then we started doing all of these albums, and I've written like 2 songs for him. But Daryl was a great guy. I miss him like crazy. If it was not for Daryl, most people wouldn't know me. In fact, if it wasn't for Daryl, I probably wouldn't have been able to do all these other things, because nobody would know me outside of Daryl. So being, you know, with Daryl every week, you know, we're out with all the other artists as well. So I'm building relationships with them, and you know, it was just like family for years and years. We just on the road, whether here in America or, you know, Sweden, Japan, it didn't matter. Yeah.
Oh, I'm just asking questions because most people may not know you know, but again, we're going to talk about other things. Most people may not know the like long extent of your career. And I've had the privilege of having these conversations with you over the years. So you did Heritage Christian Center's first record, I believe.
Yeah.
You like, and I remember that's when I had met you. You probably don't remember that, but I had met you. I was singing with Michael Williams in Eternal Life. We came in to sing background at the church. I mean, for the recording. And I remember all these artists that I grew up listening to almost all my life. Like, oh my God. Lisa Page. Lisa Page Brooks. Daryl Coley. Tata Vega.
Norman Hutchins.
All these Norman Hutchins. All these people were your friends.
Right.
So that was so amazing. I think his name is Gray. I mean, you had people that played music, band members that played for Boyz II Men. This one, that one, Snoop Dogg. I mean, so the amount of reach that you had, I always thought was so unbelievably incredible. But in just even the experience, I mean, you I know that you're a nice guy. But when it comes to music, you play no games. Like you get it done. No, do it again. No, that wasn't right. No, do it again. No, you ain't got it right. That's okay. Go home. You just, but it was excellent. Like that project today is still one of my favorites. It was just done in excellence, and it's always been that type of system as far as I've always known about you.
Oh, that's Daryl. That's
Yeah.
Daryl all day. Daryl was like, so I would go after a while. I would go and I would fly into a city like on a Thursday, and he would come like just for the concert. So I had to do all of the preparation, and Daryl didn't play. So if it was wrong, he tell you right in front of everyone. You know, he didn't play at all when it comes to that. When it came to that, I mean, I remember one time we had a concert and he called a song I did not know. You'll never find nobody like the Lord. I had never played that song, and he called it out. Take sixes on the front row. Place is full of folks, and I could not play it. And he just looked over at me, and he said, "I'll play it." And I had to get up. He came over. He's, in the middle of the song, he stopped. He's like, he looked at me. I had to get up from the piano in front of all these folk. Daryl sat down and he played for himself. After that, he never had to do that again. So, I mean, I learned from, same thing with Thomas Whitfield. I lived with him for a minute, and he was like, I would be downstairs playing and practicing, and there was a phone on the piano with a different phone number from the house. And he would be upstairs, in his office or whatever. And I'm just playing away thinking, oh, yeah, I'm playing Thomas Whitfield music at Thomas Whitfield's house, and it's all great. Tommy would call me, phone would ring. Excuse me. I'd be like, hello. He's like, yo, wrong chord. Click. So, I never got a break from nobody, but that was good. I never got a break, but it was good, But once again, I never wanted to be this great keyboard player. So I was just going for the ride. I enjoyed it all because I was young, but I did it, but it wasn't like really what I wanted to do.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I mean, when I went to Heritage the first time, I was there 3 times. When I went to Heritage first time, they wanted to do an album, and they were already talking to EMI, Ken Pennell over at EMI. And I had a very good relationship with Ken. Ken wasn't going to do the record. When he hired me, when Dennis hired me, Ken found out I was there, and he went ahead and did the record based upon the fact that I was there. And so, I had those relationships, but because I never wanted to be that, I was never like walking around like, yeah, guess what I did, and guess who I am, and guess what, that's never been me. So, I enjoyed it, and I've been blessed. Like I said, I cannot complain because I wanted none of it, and I got all of it.
Wow. That's incredible. I'll talk to you. I promise every time I talk to you, I get, wow, that's amazing.
4 Stellar Awards. I have a Dove Award. My album with Bishop Morton, 4 Stellar Awards in the 250,000 sales. You know what I'm saying? Things have been all right.
Yeah, and you were there at a time, before we move into this next part, you were there at a time when people broke what they call breaking an artist. And so if there's someone who's maybe younger generation, can you kind of just give a brief explanation on what breaking an artist is?
Well, it all starts with money. That's number one. What I'm watching is a lot different because, the internet, and an issue with the internet is, and this goes with any product, when there's an oversaturation in the market of any product, it loses value. Mm-hmm. And so that's what's happened with us. Because back before the internet, it was the record companies that put people out. We didn't know anybody unless the record company pulled them, except the local people. We didn't know people until they came out with a record, right? And so it was only a few. There was balance. But now, that's so with the, everything being so oversaturated, you don't have people thinking about, marketing and promotions and A&R like they would if they were with a label. So everybody could just come together, get something together and put it on iTunes now. And the issue is, though, the consumer only has like 80 platforms to sell their music, right? The record companies, the real labels, they have over 200, right? And so the whole issue is if you have like thousands of people right here, you need to get yourself the head above that so you will be noticed because everybody can sing. We see that now. YouTube, I mean, everybody can play. Kids coming out the womb can play, you know, Bach. You feel me? So how do you get above that crowd? It takes money. And most people just spend money on their record. No money, no real money. And I'm talking about you need like 20 grand plus. You know, if you're gonna market, you need real money to get above the crowd. And without that, it's like, to me, it's a depreciating asset because you've invested your money and now it's a liability because it's a liability until it breaks even and you're starting to make some money off of it. So check out, you can Google this. I mean, this is people that are doing this. They don't understand the finances, right? Napster. This is how much you get paid per stream off of these places. And you can Google this yourself. Napster, 0.019%. That's not a penny. Per stream now. This is what I'm talking, per stream. Tidal is 0.0125. Apple Music, 0.00735. Google Play, 0.006. Deezer, 0.006. I can go on. This is per play. So to make, they even have this is number of streams to earn $1. Well, with Napster, you need 53 streams to earn $1. So Tidal, you need 80. Apple Music, you need 136 streams to get $1. Yeah, I mean, I can go on. You understand? Then there's iTunes and that whole CD Baby thing. Okay, after your friends and family have bought your single, that's about 50 or so.
Right.
And then you got to pay your taxes on that. I mean, you're not even getting $1 on that. So it's a depreciating asset. And plus everybody's their attention span is so short. By the time you trying to get your stuff all on Facebook and stuff, people move on to the next thing because everybody's out there. You feel me? So if you want, I mean, in the day, they took time to break an artist. I mean, they would almost a year before you come out, you'd be waiting, you sign a deal and be waiting for a year to come out because they have to build you. They have to build a demand for you. They have to introduce you. They got to tell you a story. I mean, you can't just walk up to something that's dead and say, all right, let's go. You feel me? Nobody knows you. And so, you know, if you don't have the support, you know, you have to have some type of support. It's not just make a record, make a single and put it out. Okay, so how many people are doing what? How many people are breaking even? I mean, so you have to decide, are you in this for the ego alone? Or are you in this because you'd like to see, you're invested in yourself because you want to see a return, or it don't matter to you? You know, is this just an ego thing where you just throwing money away just because you want people to know you? Or, you know, I mean, these are the choices people just have to make. Some people don't mind throwing their money away like that. Personally, I don't play that. But I mean, it's just what it is. I mean, do you want to invest in yourself and then not fully invest to get the bang for your buck? You're just like everybody else, you know? So, you know, if you don't have a marketing plan, you don't have marketing dollars. Marketing is not YouTube. Feel me? Marketing is not Facebook. No. Imagine if that's the only place Beyonce had to market her stuff. Is Jay-Z marketing all his stuff just on Facebook and blah, 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 blah? No, they bought Tidal and then sold it. You feel me? I mean, and the reason why he bought Tidal is he's trying to get these artists paid more money because, as you see, and it doesn't matter. It's not gospel that's going by that scale. That's everybody going by that scale. So while you watching all the videos and all that, I'm looking at money and I'm like, wow, you know, I wonder, are they breaking even, or are they cool with just spending the money so people can say, hey, I saw you, or hey, that was sweet, you know, hey, I like your singing, or man, that band was dope. That stuff costs money. You feel me? And so there's a difference between yesterday and today. Before, there was a whole plan. If they signed you, it's because they believe they can market you and make some money. That's the bottom line. If they sign you, it's because they thought that you were marketable. You can affect their bottom line. And so they did everything. That's why the budgets were like they were, because they did everything they could within how much they decided to spend on you to make sure that everybody knew you before you even came out. You know, the days are gone of the EPK and all that, really. You know, I mean, back in the day, you used to be able to perform in front of the gospel announcers and all of that. You know, it was just a different time. You know, and so when I'm looking at all of these people, to me, it's like this: either you fall into three categories. Either you're in this for the ego and the ego alone. You want to be a star. You want everybody to know who you are. You want the awards. You really want to be, you want the Mary vibe. You want everybody to know you. You want to have your shows on TV and blah, 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 blah. That's one. Then there's two. This is all about ministry, all about souls. Remember, I think we talked about this one time. I was like, how many people will put an album out without their face on it? Right? So is it about ministry, souls? The heck with the money. Your reward are the souls. So you don't care about money. You don't care whether you get, you know, whatever. You are just in this for the ministry alone. That's number two. Then there's number three, where you want both, where you want to give God all the glory, but you want him to share a little bit of that with you. So I'm here for you, Lord, but at the same time, I want all this glory down here. You're going to get the glory up there, but I want it down here, which means I'm giving you the glory, but I want to share that with you. So at the same time, I'm here for souls. I'm also trying to make sure that everybody knows who I am. And I want everybody to be downloading my stuff. And I want to be on all of the shows. And I want to be in the Yolanda Adams space. And I want to be in this space. And At the same time, we're talking about all the glory belongs to you. We're singing this, right? So you're either in these three categories. Now, what you have to decide is be honest with yourself and say, okay, this is who I really am. I appreciate ministry, but I enjoy the ego part of this. And I'm not bold enough to go do R&B. My conviction won't let me go do that. So I'm gonna do it. I want what they get over there. I want to try to experience that over here if I can. And you know, these are the three categories. Everything is gonna go from there on what happens from there. Once you make that decision, who are you? Who are you first? Is it about you? Ego? You like all the stuff on TV? You want to be popular? A lot of people do. It's all about God. You could care less. Like Peter tore down. Peter went to one city and they had built a statue to him. And he tore it down and said, how dare you? It's not about me. So are you that guy, or are you the person that wants both? So that's where you start. And if it's all about ego, then let it be about that. Then you're going to go get you a bunch of money and make it all about you. And you get that. If it's about ministry, then who cares about the rest? You just care that souls are being saved. Or you both?
I'm going to ask this and then we can move on to the next part. Do you find in your experience over the years that most people want both?
Yep. Well, you have to understand this, y'all. We as Black people entertain the world. Our value to the world is entertainment, period. So you can only imagine how it's only natural for us, especially amongst ourselves, to be all about entertainment. Because that's our value in the world, not just in America. Our value is entertainment. And so, my thing is just be honest. You know, you don't be sitting up saying all the glory belongs to you, and we can truly see that it don't. You know, it's just about being honest, man. That's all I'm about. If that's what it's gonna be, let that, because everybody is watching, and so I've seen the mic tossing and all of that. We love our talent. We worship each other's talent. We do. I mean, the more talented, the better. We love talent. We call talent anointing. We do. If somebody can sing and you feel something, that's anointing to us. You feel me? So, I mean, it's like, what do you really want to do? Where do you want to end up? What is your goal with this whole thing? Why are you in this? Ask yourself the question. Why? Why are you spending money on yourself singing? What is this all about? And are you willing to lose money to do this? Because it is a depreciating asset. I can take the same money and do something that's going to bring me a lot more money. You feel me? And still go sing if that's what I like to do. I can make it a hobby. I don't have to make it to where my kids ain't gonna have nothing when I die, because everybody gonna say at my funeral is how talented I was, and everybody had to, contribute to burying me. I mean, come on, man. That's what we see.
Wow. So with that, what you just said, do you Well, I know. Do you feel like we put all our eggs in one basket? Like we don't plan for the future, right? So I believe you can have both, like you said. But
Well,
you know,
let me tell you what I've seen. I've been around long enough to see, a couple of generations. I've been around long enough to see the generation before me and how they turned out. And most of them, they died with nothing. They died, and the only legacy they left is the music that they did. They died. Their children don't have anything because a lot of them didn't even have life insurance. They died, and a lot of them had to be buried. People had to help bury them. You feel me? That's what I've seen. So I haven't seen people that do this and that's it. And then at the end of the day, they're wealthy. That your grandchildren's grandchildren are taken care of. Nobody has to bury them. Stuff like that. I haven't seen much of that, except for those that are the quote unquote gospel stars. And back in the day, Tone told us that all of that's BS anyway. He was everybody was singing his music and he was sitting in an empty apartment.
That part.
So, I mean, if people to saying how great you are means more than you eating, man, that's you. If having people say how great you are means more to you than becoming, because you will get older. So when you're 50 and nobody cares about you like that, what are you going to do if this is all you're doing? Who's going to take care of you? Are you going to play the organist? Are you going to have to play for your supper till you die? I'm 51 now, so I've seen a lot. And I've seen people that I was like, great in my mind. They died poor, broke, nothing, nothing. And I decided that can't be me.
So when you said take care of yourself, which we can lead into, you about a week ago, not last week, but the week before. First, let me say this. You've always encouraged me. So now I can publicly say it. Not said it to you many times privately, but you have always encouraged me to take good care of myself. You've always encouraged me to be my best. I put my best foot forward, not just in music, but in my health. So I can publicly say thank you. Everybody can acknowledge that this is the person who's been on me for years, always consistently. About 2 weeks ago, you had a really serious conversation with me that I did feel like was for me, but it was also, you also encouraged me. You said, I want you to use your platform, right of what you're doing, all that. I want you to use your platform to talk about health. And so that's what I did. And from that came some very serious conversations about where people were and are and how they had, not been the best with it. I'm being honest, I titter, totter, doing better, but so when you say take care of your health, let's talk about the health portion. And not just in gospel music, just overall health. But a lot of times, and I can say this because I'm not afraid of nobody, we in gospel music, I don't understand it why, and I'm just saying in church, and I don't want to say necessarily Black church because I've seen unhealthy people, not just physically, but mentally unhealthy in other ethnicities, in church. So I don't want to just say it's just Christian. I think just worldwide, you've traveled abroad, there's Decor. He says, great to meet you, JB. He works for the radio.
Exactly.
And Kevin Kelly, I want to make sure you saw his post about, hey, JB.
What's happening?
So you and I have talked extensively. So you've traveled abroad extensively.
Yeah, right.
And I'm going to say this because I heard someone else say this a couple of days ago, but it is very, very true. So when you travel abroad, you notice that America is not healthy.
America's fat.
America is fat.
Yeah, we are.
The way we eat. So you notice when you go to Japan, I found this so interesting. The very first time, maybe I caught it even more the second time. I noticed they didn't eat and walk. They get their bag, whatever it is, from wherever it is. They put it in their cart or in their car. Most people don't actually have a car in Japan, so it's known for them not to have a car. Car is a luxury there. But they either put it in their basket while they're biking, or they walk and they take their food home and they sit down and have a meal. A couple stories. I remember the first time I went to Japan, I saw two friends come into McDonald's, get a cheeseburger meal and they split the cheeseburger. Not two cheeseburgers. They split the one cheeseburger and the fries, and you get a small drink. Their small drink is our medium, and you get no refills.
Right.
Right? They don't eat and walk. They don't do all of that stuff. So I just noticed these differences. They walk. It's just part of the culture, but they walk out. They don't eat and walk. They kind of enjoy the food a little bit more than we do. They don't rush. They don't. Remember one time, one of the teachers said, "So do you eat greens and macaroni and cheese?" I was like, "Oh yeah." It's like, doesn't it make you sleepy? Like, pull you all the way down.
Right.
They talked about when they ate it for the first time, how they felt drowsy and it pulled them all the way down. I just thought those things were so interesting.
Happened to me too.
I was in the airport. I don't think I'll forget this as long as I live, JB. I was sitting in the airport, on some reroute back to America. And I just said, oh my God, wait a minute. And everybody felt big. Even though I'm a big girl, I'll just watch the way that people consume food. And I said, there's something wrong here.
Yeah.
So we see it a lot, of course, in our African-American churches. We see it a lot in gospel music where it's just okay to be fat. I'm just going to say it. Y'all don't like it. I'm just say it. It's my platform. I can say whatever I want.
It is true.
I'm a good girl, but when people see me, they be like, oh, you must be able to sing. Why? Why do you know? Because I'm light-skinned. I mean, I can sing, that's true. But why is it because I'm light-skinned or my voice a little bit scratchy or because I'm a thicker girl, it's like, oh,
you're right.
Able to sing.
Right.
And a lot of times, unfortunately, that is the truth with some people. But I said that to say that we don't take good care of ourselves. And I'm going to let you talk about you always say to me how we cry, we fall out, we grabbing caskets when, brother so-and-so died, and then we go eat the same food.
That killed him.
So go ahead. So,
obesity is like a taboo in the church. You can't talk about that, but you can't do it. In fact, overeating is not, you can't approach that like it's a sin, like the Bible says. You feel me? The Bible says it's all the same. If you eat overeating, it's just like you committing adultery, whatever. It's all the same. We don't teach that doctrine in our churches. And that's too bad, because I can be high as a kite. Y'all not going to give me the mic. Right. I could be drunk as a skunk. Y'all not giving me the mic. Everybody in the audience could have just heard that I was having sex with 3 or 4 of these women up here. Y'all not giving me the mic. If I'm 350, go right ahead. You feel me? And so for me, how can anybody standing with a mic and admonish me about discipline when I'm looking at the whole place? Now there are medical issues, but they're not all medical issues. Some medical issues, yeah, but they're not all medical issues, right? We have absolutely no problem with it. And it's personal to me because I lost my mentor to him being obese, morbidly obese. And just the thought of my mentor not being here because of that's hard. That's hard, and it's been hard since 1992. The fact that he could still be here if it wasn't for food. My brother Butter, my friend Ron. I mean, I can go down the list. Health has taken a lot of my friends and almost took me. I had a heart attack. You feel me? And I was going to the gym every day. But what I wasn't doing was taking my blood pressure medication because I was looking good, feeling good. Like, I don't need this stuff. Yeah. You feel me? And once it's over, it's over. Our thing in gospel, we have no problem paying for that extra seat for that one artist. No problem. Now, am I telling the truth or not?
Yep.
That extra seat for that one artist, we've seen it and we have no problem with it. You feel me? And so, you just leave people alone. They don't want to don't bother them about their food. Let them eat, let them die. you know. So we preach about everything else, and we're watching people dying in the congregation because of food. You feel me? I just think it's out of balance, but hey, who am I?
I want to read this. My friend Sonia Battle, who I want to publicly celebrate. Sonia, I don't want to sure what her exact weight was when I met her, but Sonia Battle, I know for sure with no pills, no surgery, has lost well over 100 pounds on her own. And she said, we celebrate things with unhealthy food, even when we lose weight and reach our weight goal, 10, 20, 30 pounds, we celebrate with eating unhealthy food. And that's coming from a woman, a friend who has a company called 4060. Again, she's lost well over 100 pounds. So she's a witness to that. And I agree. I think it's really sad that we don't, because I know me and you have talked about this very extensively. I can't, there's some things I can't say on this platform because, some people think I would say, but we talked about it pretty extensively, how we just celebrate fat. I saw a woman on Instagram, and I just got freaked out. So let me tell you how all this conversation started, so everybody could be like, why is she talking about this? Why aren't they just talking about music and church and being saved and righteous? Because you can't do any of that if you're not here, right? So I was on my way to the grocery store. I was in the grocery store about 2 weeks ago. When I walked into the grocery store, I go to Walmart at least once a week. It's like my favorite store, right? So I'm in Walmart, and I walk to the other side of Walmart. When I walk in, it was like all of the produce was illuminated. I promise you. It was like all of a sudden, the apples and the oranges, they all stuck out. I just said, this is very, very interesting today. So I grabbed oranges and apples and I like fresh. I like, healthy food, no problem. So I thought that was just interesting and stuck out like that, right? So I get in the car, I'm in an Uber, and my driver is morbidly obese. He was so heavy.
Yeah.
I'm not bashing on anybody. No, I'm bashing on trash. And this is the honest God truth, that it freaked me out. And I text JB like, oh my God, I just had the most scariest experience.
Right.
The driver was so heavy, he couldn't even reach. There was no way I was getting help with bags. None of that was happening because honestly, he was just too heavy of a guy. So from that conversation, me and JB just started having this conversation. And kid you not, every time I would go to Instagram, I said, okay, obviously there is a message I need to receive. So I took what he said. I took this challenge. We started talking about it. But then I saw a young lady on Instagram. I shall not call her name. I don't know her. She's immensely overweight. She's got to be at least 400 pounds. And it's like everybody's celebrating her.
Yeah.
I remember JB why do we keep doing this? Why do we keep celebrating? Yay!
Yo, this is us right here. You 400 pounds, everything is fine. You start losing weight, what's the first thing we say to each other? Do you see so-and-so? They looking sick. You feel me? We just backwards. Somebody starts getting healthy and we think they sick. You feel me? So I mean, and it affects everything. People that are trying to be artists. I mean, come on. I mean, here we go again. Are you going to be honest with yourself? Are you marketable? It's just that simple. You may want everybody to accept your whatever, you being very obese. And unfortunately, there are people that are going to help you with that. You feel me? Because they're not going to say anything. And so it's all about what you want. You say you want to be an artist, you need to be marketable. And it's difficult to market people that look unhealthy. It's just what it is.
Let's talk more about that because this is uncomfortable for some people, but I think it's something that needs to be said. I may not reach 1,000 people, but you said to me, which is true. If I reach one person, that's all that matters. So let's talk about that. We're going kind of, we're teetering between music and health. Mm-hmm. So most people, let's say the Marys, right? Mm-hmm. When the Marys came out, they've always been curvy. Their mother's curvy, like you would know, right?
Can we stop right there? Can I interject?
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's a difference between curves and fat. Keep going.
Absolutely, there is. So they come from that, right? They're curvy girls. Their mom was curvy, but they were small. Now this is the thing. When Mary, Erica, and Tina first came out, they were, I would say, between 8 and 9. Like the size is women's size between 8 and 9. Now life has happened. They've had kids and things like that. But I want you to, so people won't think I'm picking on anybody. You to explain how if it would have been different, if they would have been a larger size, this and this and this and that, they would not be who we know them to be today.
Well, I mean, that's easy. It's just the fact. If you're overweight, it's more difficult to market you to mainstream media. The mainstream people, they allow maybe a few overweight. There's a white young lady who's really popular. She's not, she's kind of overweight. Then there was the young lady who just did a song. She had a hot song for a minute. She was overweight and, just at the basketball game showing all her stuff and all of that. But normally everything's competition and it's money. See what I'm saying? I mean, if you want somebody to so I don't do music anymore, but I just got, I was just offered 2 different distribution deals the other day. And as I was talking to the executive and he was telling me, what they would not be interested in, as they were telling me, as it relates to what I'm bringing to them, that was part of it. It's about marketing because it's money. And if somebody's going to put 20 grand behind you, they have to think in their mind, I'm going to get this 20 grand back plus. But if I can't market you everywhere because of your size, why am I going to invest in you? And that's just it. It's money. It's not romantic on that level. Down here where it's all romantic. Up there, it's not romantic. It's dollars and cents. And if I see somebody that can really sing, but I know I can only market her in a small place, no. That's why you have people in R&B that can't sing a lick. And I'm not going to call no names, but they can't sing a lick. But they're millionaires. Why? They're marketable. Who cares about how they sing? We can go down the list on that for real. How many R&B singers? There's somebody in the alto section that can out-sing them. We all know this, but it's not about just singing. It's about money, right? Can we market you? Can we make you into somebody? Even if you're not there yet, that's what A&R was for. Can we make you into your greatest self? There are no A&R departments anymore. So everybody's making their own choices. Everybody's saying, well, hey, this is good enough. They splattering themselves all over everywhere. And you don't understand. You making it romantic. But people that's watching, everybody ain't going to be as romantic as you. The young lady passed the other day. Rest in peace. Darrenese Pace.
Darrenese Pace. Mm-hmm.
What happened? Now, as you would never expect anybody to have anything negative to say. And there was. Miss Braxton says something negative. So you're always going to have people out there that's not going to be as romantic as you about you. They're not going to care. They don't have any emotions about your situation like you do. It's all about, is this person somebody I want to support? If they're looking like, 400 pounds, that's going to be difficult because you have all these other people that have mega dollars behind them that are in shape.
Wow.
What are you going to do? So it's up to you once again. How far do you want to go? Do you want to just hang around doing concerts around the country and these A&B selection joints, or you go do a New Year's something here, or you a special guest for that? That's one thing. But if you have aspirations of doing more than that, you have to make sure that you are in a position where somebody else sees value in you. Unless you have the money yourself, you have to find somebody that sees value in you, and you have to be valuable. And if I look at you and I can see you don't care nothing about yourself, why am I going to put my money behind you?
So you have to play the game.
Yeah, it's really not even a game. It's just what it is. It's like checkers, but most everybody around us, they on the checkers board. They're not on the chess board. So they're playing chess. They're not even playing checkers. You feel me? So, we all see it. Somebody comes out with something new like twice a day, 3 times a day, right? 5 times a day. And then the next day, here's another 5 new pieces. So when it's oversaturated like that, how do you get above everybody? If you're going to look like everybody else and don't care, you don't, whatever. It's really not rocket science, man. It's about dollars at the end of the day. Or you don't care about any of that You're just in it for the ministry. If nobody knows who you are, you're fine. If you're trying to get something out of it, and once again, your investments. I mean, if you have $5, why are you spending $4 on music and you ain't even making a penny back? See, that doesn't make sense to me. But once again, I'm not everybody. I've gone into other things that have set up my children that I could have never said would have happened if I would have stayed in music. I mean, I did Let It Rain. That sucker sold 200-something thousand. I never got paid. You feel me? So, I mean, there's millions of stories like that. So I saw that when I saw everything changing and I saw that everybody and their mama could put something out and there was going to be oversaturation, I had to parlay my monies into something else, because at the end of the day, it's not enough for me to die and people say, man, yeah, that cat was pretty good on keys, or yeah, he produced a couple albums I liked. That's not good enough, because that doesn't do anything for my grandchildren, my greats. That doesn't do anything for them.
So talk about that. You've like really maneuvered into some other areas, right?
Sure.
You got your pilot license.
For sure, I'm a pilot. I am.
Talk about that. You got your pilot license.
Yeah, well, I have a transportation service, and I own a transportation business in Vegas. We're down, of course, for COVID, but one of my dreams was to not just have service, road service, but flights as well. So I went ahead and got my license, because the way I am, I want to do it myself. So I wanted to be the one to first fly our folks that come to JB Transportation. I wanted to be the first one to fly them around. And so now I'm flying myself around and having a good time.
How does it feel?
I can't explain it. To go from being a keyboard player to a pilot is you can't. There's no comparison. There's no comparison.
Wow.
No comparison. Also, I started my own real estate holdings business. So I'm investing in real estate now. I just rented out my first house I bought, and now I'm getting ready to pay cash for another one as another investment property. I'm just rinsing and repeating. My portfolio will have, everything from just single family homes, multifamily, Airbnb, so forth and so on. Getting ready to buy my dream condo on the beach down in Pompano Beach, Florida. I'm just having a great time. But through it all that I'm doing, I'm building up. Like my son, he graduates next year. He's 18 on November the 30th. I'll be handing him keys to his own place at his birthday. I could never do that, being a musician for somebody. You feel me? My son, when he graduates, he'll have his own property. Feel me? He won't have to worry about. In fact, it'll be a rental property. He can move into it if he wants. But I'm setting him up. You feel me? So when I go, see, I'm not doing life insurance. All of my assets I put into a trust and make my son a trustee of that trust, and he gets everything once I'm gone. That's bigger than some life insurance policy. You feel me? I could never do that. See, most people that in the industry I come from, they're great. They find greatness because of who they're connected to. Most of the people I know, they don't believe in themselves to be great enough. So it's all about who I play for, or I sing with this person. It's not that I am not. They find their value in who they're connected to. I minister music at such and such a church. I'm which means absolutely nothing. None of that is going to take care of your children. None of that will leave a legacy for you. In fact, you're building somebody else's legacy. You're making sure somebody else's children can go to college paid for. What are you doing? And so I had to make the hard choice. Do I want to keep having fun with music and then die and be like, well, at least I did some great music, and then my son have to have, the regular plain life? Or I could say, you know what? Nah, I'm going to invest in what is going to bring me an actual return. You feel me? So right now, my house that I bought is being paid for. I don't pay for it, and I make a profit. That's the only way I'm able to go buy this house cash in another state, and I'm gonna just keep rinsing and repeating. You feel me? I could have never done these things. Talk about, oh man, I'm minister music at Heritage, or what the heck? That means nothing. Nothing. You are a servant. You just serving somebody else's dream. And as long as you build in somebody else's dream, you will never be building your dream, because all your time is going to theirs, because they demand it. and they see your value. You feel me? That's the trick. They see your value. They see that you can affect their bottom line. Imagine if you believed in yourself that you can do this for yourself. I decided, you know what? I'm gonna do this for myself. So I just changed it all, and it became about my son. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. You feel me? And like right now, I have 2 distribution deals in my lap. I don't even do music anymore. I ain't talking about I'm talking about major distribution deals right now. But what's most important to me is making sure that whenever I die, that my son is taken care of. He never have to work a day in his life. He will have properties that he's managing. He will have a portfolio that's full of all sorts of different things that are all asset, not liability. You feel me? In fact, the places that I'm buying out of state already come with tenants. I don't even have to worry about that. I start making money as soon as I purchase it. You feel me? That's what I'm into. Everybody else, I get it. Music is fun. I did it. I travel. I did it all. It's not what haven't I done? Movies, TV, albums. Well, what haven't I done? Travel the world. What haven't I done? So I can continue to do that, or I can look at myself and say, you know what? I'm more than that. You know what? I can be more than this. You know what? I can fly a plane. Yeah. You know what? I can go buy property. Yeah. So I started my own. Brown Legacy Holdings LLC.
So proud of you.
Oh man, that's it. Brown Legacy Holdings, baby. Yeah.
So I don't want to. Let me say this. So what would you say for the person who has been through really tough times? I don't necessarily want to go through that part, but you did experience some pretty. I mean, I just think overall, obviously, you've done all these things. So obviously, every day wasn't, sunny, and every day wasn't wonderful. It doesn't have to be churchy. That's just life, right? The reality is that's just life.
Yeah.
But you've been through some really tough spaces.
Amen.
And you could have easily, I've just been there through some, not all of your tough spaces, right? And you could have, a lot of people when those tough spaces happen, when those situations happen, a lot of people, I feel like, showed you who they really were.
Oh, of course. Yes.
Right?
That was the best part about all of that.
Just showed people who, what do you say to people like that? Like you, what I love about what you're saying is you can still do the music. That's what you want to do.
Sure.
But just build some other things around your life, right? Because you've been stacking up. So he has a son named Deuce. Shout out to Deuce. He's been building for Deuce for a long time.
I have.
It's some like stacking. I mean, this boy comes to see, hey, Dad, and he's just like, hey, take your friends $1,000, take your friends to the thing. But it must be a good feeling. So what do you say to people who are in that space, right? Their life has been bumpy. They've experienced scandal or whatever. And now they're at this place, like, right, those parts may kind of be over. But now, what do I do? Because people don't know, I don't know how much you want to talk about, but you've been homeless, if I can say
Absolutely.
that. You've really experienced some like real at the bottom, what the heck happened kind of situations.
So yeah, December of 2007, I was basically in a situation where I was looking at 115 years in prison. And a lot of people don't know that Denver, the detectives, they treated me like OJ. They drugged me while I was in the interrogation room. A lot of things happened that when it finally came out, Colorado had to back up off me. But during that time, like you said, you find out who's who. I saw blogs with people talking about me, my friends. I heard conversations that people didn't know. One young lady from Denver butt dialed me, didn't know she butt dialed me. This was not even too long ago. And she and one of the musicians in Denver, they was just ripping me up. The thing that freed me up to be great, because that's who I am now, is the ability to not give a damn about what people said. Once I got to that point, because I remember walking down the street in Denver, and this lady who obviously had recognized me from this scandal, she rolled her window down and cussed me out as I'm walking down the street. So I mean, I've had it all. I've had it all. I mean, I've been underneath hell's basement. You feel me? I've been homeless. Yes, I've slept in cemeteries. I've done it all. I just to survive. You feel me? I went through what most people could never survive. And like I said, I had people to this day, people, they have no idea, you know, here I am. I have a great relationship with I have a great relationship with Michaela, my old family. We have a great relationship. Most people, they still talking, you feel me? If I had not gained the ability to, for the sake of my son, hold my head up and walk with an attitude of, it don't matter what you think about me, because your affirmation does nothing for me. I did all of this. Nobody gave me anything. And I didn't do all of this because everybody liked me. You know, people still talk about me, but you know, that's just what it is. As they're talking, I'm flying planes, baby. You feel me? As they're talking, I'm buying houses cash. You feel me? And the thing is after I went through all of that, came out of it, years later, those same people that was talking, they still doing the same thing. They still broke, still going to the same old nothing churches. Still, you know, so it's just what it is, man. You gotta live your life in spite of, because guess what? People, if you leave it to people, man, they'll make sure you ain't, you know, you have to get to a place in life where good job and you are horrible sounds the same. You know, you can't let anything cause you to go, you know, off of your course, especially people, because what I've seen is some of those same people that used to rip me up, oh, they come back like Nicodemus all in my DM asking me, how you doing this and how you doing that? And can you help me? And I'm telling you, some of the same people. I feel like Joseph sometimes, you feel me? The same people that sold me out, they come right back. And that's just the way it is in life. So what I would say to anybody going through anything is that you have something special inside of you. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. You have something special inside of you, more than you probably ever believe. You have to believe in yourself more than anything. Who cares who doesn't like you, who doesn't accept you? It don't matter. Look at my life, and it says it all. It doesn't matter what people think about you. Before you know it, you just stay focused on what you have to do. Before you know it, before they was looking down at you, next thing you know, they looking up at you. Mine literally, because I be flying planes. So the ones that was looking down at you, next thing you know, they're looking up like, how did he get up there? How did she get up there? Stay focused. It's not about the people. The moment it is, you lost. The moment it's about the people, you failed. The moment it's about them liking you and accepting you and thinking that you're a good person, you're done, because they are the ones that's controlling you. JB controls JB.
Wow.
Period. And guess what? I had to build this to the point where I did not need. I had to put myself in a position where I was self-sufficient. I didn't need people to accept me. So that's music. You need people to accept your music. That's music all day. I got to the point where I was going to do something for myself that was going to benefit my son that could nobody touch. And that's what I've done. Talk about me all day, but I'm buying houses while you doing whatever it is you're doing. I'm flying planes, and I'm grateful for it all because I came from nothing. When I left Denver, it was June the 4th, 2012. I had the clothes on my back and no money in my pocket. 2012, June the 4th, I left and I went to Vegas. I had no money and just the clothes on my back. LaShawn Cleveland was my angel. She was my food. She helped make sure my son got food. I mean, I have friends that's like real friends, you know, and that's what I found out through this stuff. But, you know, from that day, I was determined that no matter what, I was going to do something that when I die, my legacy was going to be more than, man, he was really sweet with that music. And then my son is sitting there trying to figure out what he's going to do now that dad is gone. That's not going to happen now.
Wow. This is like, I'm trying not to cry. Okay, so Kevin Lemons said, somebody JB actually really likes. He said, it's good to see you still standing and making it happen.
Absolutely. And trust me, I don't share all of this to brag and boast. You know that in me. What I'm sharing it for is maybe somebody is out there that needs to hear this. Maybe somebody's out there that's downtrodden because folks that talk about you like you a dog, or you know. First of all, that's a small bubble, man. That's a small bubble, you know. And so, you know, it's your fault if you allow that small bubble to be your world. You know, that the people in that bubble, they don't matter, especially up here. You know, they're not even thinking where I'm at, so it doesn't matter. And that's all what I'm trying to say to someone. If you are that person where you feel like you have something to do in life, but people, you know, you don't have people around you that support you. Some people might even know some of your past business. It doesn't matter. You have something special, and you have more than you think you have. Trust me when I tell you, all I have known is playing keys. But that situation forced me to find out more about myself. There's no way in the world I wouldn't go through that again. How about that? There's no way. I'm so thankful. That's what people don't get. I'm so grateful for my trials. Because if it wasn't for my trials, I wouldn't be here. I'd still be in gospel music seeking, you know, do you like my music? Oh, let me see if I can get on this project, or let me start this. Let me tell you, I walked away from this some years ago. A dude by the name of, I forget his name, Ron Deshay called me. And he said, hey, man, I'm doing this Christmas thing. I'm pulling in American Idol people. We're going to do this American Idol Christmas. I want you to, you know, be the music person over it. I'm like, great, no problem. And I'm thinking I get a chance to call my friends and get them some Christmas money. Long story short, we did the gig. He didn't pay. This is Christmas now. These people had sacrificed other gigs to do this gig. And it was Christmas. You feel me? All of these people I called, this dude didn't pay. Not only he didn't pay them, he didn't pay me neither. But some of them thought I was in on this, right? And so it got pretty ugly. And at that moment, I said, you know what? I'm done with this. I'm done. If I can't do this, I'm just trying to help people. You know, if this is how it's going to be, I'm done. And I was. And I turned to starting my business within 2 years. I'm gonna just be real. I can put it on the table. Within 2 years, I was making $1,500 a week profit from my business. Wasn't even working for it. In my sleep, I was making $1,500 a week in my sleep. And that was after only 2 years. You feel me? I'd never done a business before, never had done anything in transportation, but I believed in myself. And so while everything was all on the internet and all everybody's, ooh, JB, here I am, just quietly letting y'all talk about me doing what I got to do. And so then what happened? Before you know it, next thing you know, people are like, from talk about that, now they want to know, how in the heck are you flying? What in the world? Why are you flying planes? What you doing, dude? You a keyboard player. Why you flying planes? You feel me? And so my whole thing is, if I can go from zero with all negativity on the internet, you can still go look today and see it. Yeah. How in the heck did I come and pass the folks that was talking about me? How's that possible? I'm worth my net worth. I have no problems with it. My net worth right now is 564. So I'll be at $1 million. I'm buying another house here cash, so that's going to add to my net worth. So I'm near $1 million. Would never be able to say that playing keys and producing records that I'm not getting paid for. You feel me? I don't care how wonderful it is to say I won my record that I produced with Bishop Morton, won 4 Stellars. I ain't get paid for it. So the heck with the Stellars. And the Stellars, what does that mean? Let's just be real. So you get a Stellar. Okay, I have 4 of them. So you get a double award. I got one. Didn't give a freak about a Grammy. Still don't. What means something to me is something that I can tangibly leave to my children so that their great-great-great-grandchildren will know that while great-great-great-great-grandpappy JB was alive, we were on his mind. That's what I care about. I don't care about who thinks I'm a great musician. I never cared about that. I was just blessed. And before I knew it, I had done it all. And I never wanted to do it all. See, that's what people don't get about me. I never cared about being a musician. That's why I stopped playing and hiring other guys to play. You remember that?
I do.
How did all these guys get to Denver? Because I didn't want to play. Was I playing at Heritage? No. I didn't care about playing. That wasn't good enough for me, just to be able to say, I'm the sweet keyboard player. What the heck is that all about? An ego. Ego don't pay a damn bill. Excuse my French. Ego pays nothing. Ego doesn't do anything for my son. And to me, it's selfish for me to just go and be all about me and be like, well, my son, he'll be okay. That's selfish. But like I said, go do your thing and you can do gospel music all day. I sit here and play. I go play at churches if they call me, if I feel like it. Like I said, I have 2 distribution deals right now. And that's not a lie. That's real. You know, I don't play around. And I don't even want to do music like that anymore. You feel me? So it's chasing me.
Oh, no, that's really good.
It's chasing me. I don't even want it. And it's chasing me. You feel me? Chasing me. And I'm up here. I'm like, man, I'm enjoying these houses. I'm enjoying flying these planes. But it's chasing me. Explain that. I don't understand it. But so goes my life.
Yeah, really trying not to be emotional because I remember, travel back a little bit, I remember those days.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when it happened. And I remember saying to myself, at some moment of great maturity I must have been having, and everybody was talking. Mm-hmm. And I said, people would ask me, I said, I don't know. All I know is that I like them. I like Monty. What's up, Monty? I like Monty. I like Lil Deuce was definitely little. He's like about 3 or 4 years old. He wasn't even 4. He was like this little bitty baby. And I was like, I just like that. And they're cool people. Let me tell you something. That one decision has granted me the opportunity for us to be friends for almost 20 years.
For real.
So, even with that, I would caution people to not always jump on the bandwagon. A lot of times when we see stuff, we don't see the whole story. And so you just see one side, even stuff we see on the news, right? It was this whole, without going through it, what happened. The point is that there was a picture painted, and the picture that was painted with cheap paint. It wasn't a real depiction of what had really occurred. And people took this charge for something that they didn't know about. And so I chose, you know what I'm saying? I chose this day. And I'm not saying it to brag or anything. I didn't know he'd still be friends. We really weren't even like cool like that. You were like the guy that everybody, like, he's kind of mean, because you just didn't play when it came to leadership, when it came to getting it done, when it came to music. You played no games and you had no apologies, right? There were like no emotions in it for you at all. And I just remember that day and I said, I don't got nothing to say. To this day, people, he's your friend. He absolutely is my friend, unapologetically, because he's the same guy who would call me and say, hey, I love what you're doing, but what's going on with your health? He's the same guy that would say, hey, okay, yes, you can sing and this is cool, but make sure you keep your business. And this is the truth. He's the same guy when I decided, and this is no pun, but he's the same guy when I decided to be a part of Kevin Lemons Our Calling. He called me and he said, this is cool, but do not change who you are.
That's right. That's right.
Do not change who you are. You're a boss, and this is who you've always been.
Right.
This is who you are. You're not trying to go find yourself.
That's right.
So I think it's really imperative to understand. I'm not going to start crying. when you have friends like this, let me just be clear with you. I'm not just going on and on and on because I'm so delighted to be his friend. I'm telling you that me and JB do not always agree.
No.
We have very different views about certain things, like day and night.
Right.
But he has always been honest. He's always been true. He's always kept it real with me. He would see me somewhere or watch something. He's like, what's going on with that? I sent him some music. He was like, no, this is not your best. And I think in truth, we all get hype about being connected to this person, but I just wonder, are you connected to people that'll tell you the truth? Are you connected to people to tell you the truth about your fat? You need to lose weight. I'm gonna say it from a person who is not like on the other side, but who's like in the middle. You need people to tell you, listen, no, this is not good. No,
Please
you
don't let me kill myself. Don't. I mean, we wouldn't allow your best friend. We at least you would hope you wouldn't watch them, crack themselves to death, or you know what I'm saying. You would see your friend if they was doing something that was hurting themselves. You normally would say something, if they were alcoholic, if they was on crack, or well, what happens? Why not in this area? Don't let me feed myself to death. Please say so to me. Please, because I don't want to die because of food.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's all. Just, please talk to me. You don't have to protect my feelings. Tell me, JB, you need to cut back a little, bro, because I love you. I love you. And I want you here. What's wrong with that?
Absolutely. And I think it's across all things. If you would say, I just want to use me, him. Yolanda, no, you should not put this out. It's the same thing. People don't ask me, you don't want to ask me about your music because I'm gonna tell you the truth. No. but we don't like that, right? We don't want people to tell us the truth. Even in church, the Bible talks about that. You rather hear things that make your ears feel good and it's all sugary and sweet. And you don't want anybody to tell you that you're not a good parent, that you don't parent your children well, that you overeat, that you don't handle your money well. Today I saw Pastor Kenneth Bowles do something I thought was so extraordinary. He said, yes, we want you to give. Okay, give your $31 seed. After that, pay the rest for your bills. Don't send me the rest, anything after that. Take the rest of that and pay a bill off. Now I want to commend Pastor Mose because this is the truth. We don't see that a lot, but we are so used to being a part of institutions where it's just okay to have a sloppy life.
Hey, that's all I'm gonna say. Don't get so drunk off of this that you die with nothing. Because this is like, you can get drunk off of this. I used to be drunk off it because it was so much fun. I mean, come on, had a ball, but it did not set me up for the future. And most of the guys I was working for, they were set up for the future, not me. I was minister music. I was making excess of 100,000 in one church, but because nobody taught me about money, I didn't know what to do with that money. And it was, as long as I was, hey, Mr. DJ, as long as I was hitting the right songs, that's all they cared about. I would take that back. Alvin Simpkins from Denver, Colorado used to always tell me, buy some dirt, buy some dirt. I couldn't hear it at the time. I was drunk with music. He used to always tell me, buy some dirt. I was buying cars. He was like, buy some dirt, JB, buy some dirt. And I couldn't hear it. If I would have listened back then, I can't tell you where I would be today.
Yep. Shout out to Pastor Simpkins. He's definitely that guy.
Yeah.
He sat me down one day in his office. He said, what's going on with you? You take care of your money? That's a good man. He sat me down in his office one time. He said, so when people pick you up, are you late? I said, sir? He said, when they come to pick you up, you be downstairs in the lobby before they call. He said, nobody wants to pick up a late artist.
Yeah, he's a good brother.
He
tried me, but like I said, I was drunk. I was drunk on this music thing. And it's because it tastes good, it feels good. If it's about your ego, it really feels good, especially when you get to a certain point. It's just what it is, man. We're just as human as the R&B folk. You feel me? It feels good. your ego, especially when folks is like, they know you and you on TV and everybody's talking about you. And man, you know, you're the winner of Sunday's Best, which I don't get, but hey, Sunday's Best, you feel me? I mean, I it's just confusing to me, but once again, it's just me. I thought all the glory belonged to God, and that's what we've been singing. But from what I see, no, that's not true. It's like, yeah, but I want some too. And so my whole thing is this, man, whatever you're going to do in this thing, at least be honest with yourself, why you're doing it. What are you looking to get from it? So you can make sure that once you're done, at least you got what you wanted from it. Because otherwise, don't be like the people that I know. They've died broke. They've died with no legacy other than they were really good at music.
Wow.
I know that doesn't matter to everybody, but the day is going to come where your phone ain't going to be ringing like it is now. There'll be a new choir. There'll be a new artist. There'll be new folks. And you're a has-been. And the phone ain't ringing like it used to be. What do you do?
What do you do? Wow.
What do you do?
Okay, so we talked about a lot. So do you have any final? So usually at the end, you don't have to stay for the end, but usually at the end, I pray for creators. But I like to know your final thoughts. Just anything that you want people to just, we said a lot. So again, first, we say thank you so much.
Of course. My
Thank you. I
pleasure.
appreciate you. But just what would be your final thoughts? Anything you want?
And my final thought is to tell everybody out there that you have something special in you. Believe in yourself. Don't allow other people's, judgment of you to be your own. Be great because you are great. You don't have to be connected to somebody that's great. You go be great. You have the same monies as everybody else. You can invest right now. You can start right now. You can invest in assets instead of liabilities. So when it's time for you to go, there's more than just people saying how good of a person you were. Your children are taken care of. That's the most important thing. That's the Bible. A good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. Not a good man wins 4 Grammys and three Stellas and ends up with everybody saying what a great musician he was. That's not the Bible. A good man is not just thinking about himself. He's thinking about the kids that he brought into this world, and it wasn't even their choice. And so how dare I take the time that I have and just make it all about me, knowing that my children will have to be out here just like everybody else fending for themselves. And like I said, all of this don't make any money. So I have to build something for them. And that's what I'm saying to everybody. Think about yourself, but know that you can do more than you're doing right now. You can figure out what are the other things about you that you do. Some people think, oh, I'm a singer. What else? You have skills that could be lucrative. In another area, believe in yourself. You can always do music. Okay. I built my net worth and I can still do music. In fact, I'm running from it because I don't really want to do it. You can always do music. Be great for the sake of your children. Be great and leave something for them more than just some MP3s they can play for their friends and say, this is my daddy. This was my mama. That's what I got to say. And thank you for letting me on your show, sweetie. I appreciate it. It's been an honor. It's been a pleasure. And I'm here just for you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You want to stay for this last part? No, I'm live.
I'm here with you.
All right. So thank you guys for watching. I usually have all these great words to say at the end, but I think enough has been said. But I will remind you, you only get one body. I don't know what you believe, but if you even come back, you're not coming back the same way. So you get one body, you get one life. You got to take care of it. Gospel, R&B, hip hop, jazz, folk, whatever it is you do, art, paint, film, you got to take care of yourself. It's nothing wrong with having a piece of cake every now and then, but you can't have a piece of cake every day. Right? That's the reality. You can't. Well, we're here a long time. And what he said is true. So coming in at the beginning, what you're talking about, we're talking about health, we're talking about wealth, we're talking about accomplishments, things like that. But the biggest reminder is that the same food, that we go to the funeral, Uncle Henry died, we're sad, we're falling in the casket, we're singing Going Up Yonder, it's all sad, and then we go and we eat the same. When he first said this to me, I probably bawled, crying, like wait, we do that. We eat the same exact food.
That killed him.
It's killed them. If they die from a heart attack, he'll tell you James Moore,
Carol Coley. Let's just go on health.
They all died from health issues.
Okay,
Buddy, who was Buddy? Play the guitar for John P. Key.
Ron.
You ever watch any John P. Key? You go to his church, you watch it live, you'll see this picture of this guy in the back. That's Butter.
That was my brother.
Friend, dope dude, died from health issues.
Ron
Pearson, dope bass player. And the list goes on. And all because, so I'm just saying, I'm not telling you from a person who's on the other side of it. I'm telling you, I'm right smack in the middle. Today alone. Well, Yolanda, what you doing? Okay, so today, instead of eating fried chicken, it's Sunday, eating fried chicken and fried catfish. You know what I ate? Cabbage steaks. Who would have thought? You take some cabbage, you cut it up, put some seasoning, put it in the oven, bam. And it's really good. I didn't eat any real meat today. Just trying different things, trying to figure it out. I mean, I'm not telling you I'm a genius at it, but I'm just saying, all I'm saying is you only get one life, y'all. Real talk. It's not okay to just be talking about we sing for God and we just unhealthy.
Isn't it part of your witness, though? Isn't that a part of your witness, being healthy?
Yes, it should be. But we don't talk about that. That's a whole nother lie. We don't. Because it's okay. I'm telling you, you kept saying that we protect people's fat. So it's okay, I don't want to say anything to Yolanda. I remember I was slimming down.
Mm-hmm.
No, the reverse. I remember someone said to me, "Oh man, your business must be growing. Cause you're getting a little chunky." Wait. Why is that good? Why are you saying anything? It's my responsibility, yes. But why is that oh yay?
I don't know.
I am eating healthy, right? Everybody knows I don't like sweet tea. You love sweet tea, but I don't like sweet tea. I will be out to eat, trying to eat healthy, right? By choice, I want to, and I will get ridiculed. Yolanda funny acting. She don't want the sweet tea. Yolanda's funny acting. She's gonna get her food. Nobody. Man, Yolanda's really trying. Yes. Wow.
Don't let them kill you, baby. Don't let them kill you.
Don't worry, they're not. All right. So to wrap up. So thank you so much all for watching. I really, really appreciate it. You can follow me on all social media networks at Wild Praise. You can follow James Brown. If you're looking for JB, you may not find him. So you type in James Brown. Yes, his name is really James Brown in real life. So you type in James Brown. He's on Facebook. He's on Instagram.
Yeah, come fly with me. I'm always flying. So come on and fly with me.
Come fly. Come do some real estate.
Absolutely. I can teach you how to really set your kids up, set your whole thing up. Really good.
And just know he's a realist. So you want to have a real conversation, he's going to have a real conversation. All right. So thank you so much for watching. All right. So let's pray. Thank you, Lord, for this day. Thank you for life, health, and strength. Thank you for everything you've done, you're doing, and you're going to do. God, I thank you for this conversation. I thank you for JB, good, bad, and indifferent. I thank you for his life, every accomplishment, everything he's done. And I just pray that you extend his life, that he lives as long as he desires to do so. God, help us to be better stewards of our lives, our health, our wealth, our mental space, everything we do, forward and backward, in and out. So I thank you for all the people who are watching, all the people who may watch. And so I just thank you for all the things you're doing in our lives. Help us to be better stewards of our bodies, not just what people see, but what people don't see. Behind closed doors, when we overeat, when we overexcel, help us to be better stewards of our bodies. And again, I pray you cover JB, cover his family, cover his son, cover his daughters, God cover his children's children. Thank you for keeping them and protecting them through all of it. And so we call you the great God because you do great things. And we thank you for all things. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thank you. I won't forget this. So Tyreek just came on. He said, hey, y'all. So Tyreek.
Big Tyreek.
Yeah, big Tyreek is true. Looks like a Incredible Hulk.
Right. The Incredible Hulk.
Right here. And Ms. Jones says, so do you have a mentor program?
Yes. I am. Some of the houses that I'm purchasing are going to be for transitional housing for kids that are transitioning out, timing out of foster care. And so I'm starting a nonprofit so I can mentor those kids that are coming out. That'll be, in my transitional housing units. So I'm going to start doing that online. I'm going to start doing, just some mentoring for people that are interested in doing more what they're doing now. It's not as hard as you think. And then you're able to build wealth for your children, your family, generations to come. Other ethnicities are doing it. Why aren't we? So it's really just information and understanding that you can do it. I mean, look at me. I mean, come on. If I can do it, come on, everybody can do it. I started with nothing. So yeah, that's my whole thing. My transitional housing is very important to me to be able to mentor these kids coming out of foster care. So that's what I'm setting up right now.
This is dope. One last comment is Mr. Scott Allen from Colorado. He says, good commentary tonight. Thank you, Mr. Allen. That means a lot. So thank you all. Thank you, JB.
Of course.
Everybody has a great, great night. And till then.
All right. Stay dope.
Stay dope. Good night.